MMA Boxing Talk here. This is a prediction video for Tyron Woodley versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Um, this is a fight I've been looking forward to for a long, long time. Well, since it got announced, but I've been hoping that Wonderboy would get the title shot. Um, in my opinion, when Wonderboy beat Johnny Hendricks, I thought that was enough to grant him the title shot for the simple fact that at that time Johnny Hendricks had never been stopped. He was former champion, had went 10 hard rounds with Robbie Lawler, who's a savage. And Wonder Boy stopped him in 3 minutes and disposed of him so quickly. But they didn't. They gave him Rory McDonald, the number one contender at the time, which Wonder Boy, systematically beat. It was a mental chess match, and Wonder Boy won that fight against Rory, no problem, dominating the fight. Now, Tyron Woodley, he's had an easier path to the title shot. He's had some injuries. He's sat out a bit, waiting for the title shot, but he went in there and knocked out Robbie Lawler in one round. So, got to tip my hat to Tyron Woodley, and he does have a win over Carlos Condit, despite how it ended. He was winning that fight up until that point. So, Woodley is no joke. He is a legit champion. And a lot of people are underestimating him and not giving him his just due for, leading up to this fight. But I am picking Stephen Wonderboy Thompson to win this fight. I do feel that, he's obviously the better striker. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is perhaps the best striker in MMA history. He's arguably the best kickboxer of all time, 57-0 in kickboxing. His movement is so fluid. His style, his stance, the way he it's unbelievable. He's truly one of a kind, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And I do feel, he's going to frustrate Tyron Woodley with his distance, with his range, with his unpredictability, with his awkward movements. You can't emulate Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in training. I know Tyron Woodley has great training, has great coaches. Duke Rufus and his brother, who's an ex-champion kickboxer as well, is training him. They got Sage Northcutt in to help Tyron Woodley and try to emulate Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. But it doesn't matter who it is, you can't emulate Stephen Wonderboy Thompson exactly. And I do see Wonderboy picking Tyron Woodley apart. He has to be cautious. He has to be careful, of course. Tyron Woodley is a dangerous guy. He's got tremendous power. He has, Anthony Rumble Johnson explosiveness. Very explosive, Tyron Woodley. Solid wrestler, so he's got to be careful with the takedowns. But Wonderboy Thompson has great takedown defense. So Woodley, I could see him maybe getting a takedown early, but after round two, I'd be very surprised if Woodley got a takedown. I think Tyron Woodley's best ways to win would be obviously a one-punch knockout, or getting Wonderboy up against the cage with his back to the cage and unloading combinations. I think that's a way Tyron Woodley can win, and obviously, if he gets a takedown, takes it to the ground and pound, he could win that way. But Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is definitely the favorite in this one, and for good reason, despite him being the challenger. I just don't see Wonderboy slipping in this fight and getting caught by Woodley. Wonderboy's been in there with so many fighters. When you go back to kickboxing, 57 times, you don't think Wonderboy faced a guy who was powerful and explosive and that could close the gap quickly? He's seen guys like Tyron Woodley, maybe not exactly, but he's seen that type of power before. He's seen that type of explosiveness before. This guy has seen it all, and I just feel that he will frustrate Tyron Woodley. He'll use his movement. He'll keep him at range, keep him at bay with those kicks. And, if Woodley tries to come in, I think he's just going to get chopped up with those blitzing punches Wonderboy will throw. It is going to be a good fight as long as it lasts. It could go the distance. I'm really not sure exactly. I think Wonderboy has a good chance of getting a late stoppage in this fight. I'm going to go 4th round TKO by Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes the distance. I'd have to say I would be surprised if Wonderboy loses this fight, But if Tyron Woodley knocks out Wonderboy, I can't say that I'll be surprised because of his power, but I will be surprised that Wonderboy allowed that to happen. That's just my opinion. That's how I see this going down. Let me know what you guys think. But I definitely have Stephen Wonderboy Thompson winning. He does have to be careful. He does have to be cautious. And just a quick stat here. Woodley in the UFC is 6-2, and Wonderboy is 8-1. Just to throw that out there. But that's it for this one. If you like the video, subscribe. Check me out on Twitter at MMABoxingTalk1. Peace.